Thank you.
Merci.
So we welcome nominations for next year's. Thank you, Ato Germa. Thank you, Raphael. Much appreciated. So we'll have a think about who's a worthy recipient, but obviously we're hoping this will become not just an industry award that really means something. We want to do this every year. We'll finish with one of these interviews. I'm hoping Ato Germa will do these for many years to come. And it's a real sort of sign of his legacy that he's leaving with his work that he's done throughout his career in African aviation. So, well, how about that? It's 1:15, so apologies, we're 15 minutes late, but I'm not sure. I've been to too many conferences where we've only finished 15 minutes late, and we finished on time yesterday. We haven't had any changes really to the panels, which is amazing, so thank you to all my panelists and speakers for all the hard work and dedication. Big round of applause for those guys. The last 2 days have been very special for me. It's a little bit like a wedding. So I launched this in January, obviously got engaged to it 3 years ago when I started and embarked on this, or started dating 3 years ago. And then, yeah, the engagement was January with Cape Town Air Access, and they were fantastic for believing in an event that was really very much fledgling. So thank you so much to our gracious host, Cape Town Air Access, and AXA for their support as well, and all of the stakeholders within the Air Access team. So big round of applause for those guys. Now, the other thing that seems to happen at a lot of events, we shake hands, we have a cup of coffee, we leave, we meet the next year. We want to be different, and Uber are a disruptor. I want to be a disruptor. We've got young people, older people who are embracing new technologies, and I think that's very clear. And we want to change things. We want to create routes. We want to see Africa take the same level of importance in the aviation landscape as other areas of the world. So as part of that, Richard Maslin, who's a very old friend of mine, between the two of us, we will actually be producing a white paper in the next 3 weeks with all of the findings, with some data that we will design up very nicely. We will send that to all of you. We will also send it to all of the industry associations. Many are here, many of which aren't here. So we'll tell them what we were doing here, because we need to act on these things, and too often we walk away and we don't act on it. So that's something. So thank you very much, Richard, for doing that. You'll all get a copy. If you want to relive the event, all of the sessions will be cut up. Our guys will be working on that, and early next week you'll get an email with a link to YouTube where you can see them all. You can share those till your heart's content with anybody you think would like to relive the experience or share it. I'll rip some of the audio out of that, put it into podcasts as well, so you can get involved. But we're not actually finished yet. There's still a lunch outside waiting for you. Then we've still got some one-to-one meetings, and we will start with a farewell reception, a few drinks at 3 o'clock, so you don't have too long to wait. So if you've got meetings, feel free to have a glass of wine and a beer at the same time. Get involved. You know, you've sat through this, and to have a full room at this point is really quite amazing. So thank you so much. Again, being respectful of the meetings that are taking place, but we're there to obviously facilitate anybody that you haven't met, and my amazing team is the next place that I want to go to. So the first person that I have to give massive credit, so I often say that AviaDev is 1.5 people. That's me and half of Marla, but that's only because Marla has other roles, not that she's only worth half. She's worth millions and millions and millions, and you all probably know her. So Marla is the event director. She put all this together, liaises with all you guys. We're Skyping at midnight, and just the two of us kind of do this. So massive round of applause for Marla. And then the other people who've actually made AviaDev look a little bit bigger than it is are my AviaDev ambassadors, who you will have all met over the last couple of days. So through LinkedIn, through personal relationships, etc., there's actually 6 people who've got themselves here. They're students, they're graduates, and I'd like those guys to stand up if they're in the room, please. So Ricardo's from Brazil. Thanks, Ricardo. Abdi is a hometown of mine. He's from Manchester, but he has roots in Africa. Tony is my co-founder of the Aviators Africa Academy, so we haven't talked about that, but please talk to Tony about that. That's our new outreach project, trying to inspire the next generation of aviators in Africa. So thank you, Tony. John at the back, again, from the northwest of England, BA, cabin crew, loads of experience, super enthusiastic about everything that's going on. So thank you, John. Shingai, who worked for Ethiopian Airlines for quite a few years and is studying for his PPL, and he's doing lots and lots of outreach stuff in Johannesburg. So thank you, Shingai. And Gladys. Gladys actually came and spoke at our Aviators Africa event when we launched it in Lagos in April. And she's a graduate from Coventry University, so thank you, Gladys. Now, all of you will receive a questionnaire in the coming days. Please take the time. My wife actually is a research expert, and she will go through everything. She'll provide the insights to us, and we do act on it, and I hope you can see that. That's why we have an advisory board, and we will take your criticisms, constructive or otherwise. We will take them seriously because we want this to just be a springboard for the future. We don't know where we'll be next year, but hopefully we will be able to announce that very soon. So I'll let you know as soon as you can save the date, and we'd love for you to come back and join us again. I couldn't do this without our sponsors, media partners, supporters. You'll have seen them flashing up on the screens, but all of which have just been incredible, and obviously I would really like to appreciate them. So big round of applause for those guys.
John, just before you finish off and everything else, you're being so graceful to thank everybody else here in the audience, but in true disruption and disrupting your event,
we like that.
I think we should all have a great round of applause for John for all the efforts he's put together. It's an amazing event, John. Well done in what you're putting together. You are creating a legacy for Africa that I've never seen in an aviation event before. So thank you, and well done for what you're doing.
Thank you, Richard. It means a lot. Thank you. Okay, so before the tears start rolling, we do something else. This is the final thing I will ask of you before we go for lunch. And every year, as a tradition, those of you who have been to AviaDev before, we do a group photo on the stage. So we can do it. We'll have people in front, people at the back. I've been advised that we can get the weight. This will take the weight, the stage. So I'd love to invite everybody up. We'll try and find some way so we can all see the camera. Alfonso, our photographer, will sort of direct. But if you could make your way up to the stage and join me. And honestly, it's been such a humbling experience. And thank you so much for taking part in AviaDev.